I remember my family! They're out there somewhere. Have to find them. Guys, you gotta help me, guys! Guys, hello?
Dory remembers when she gets this flood of memories is basically everything we've witnessed in the beginning of the movie. Just this, her being young, her being with her parents, but it's from a child's point of view. We don't remember, when we think back when we're like 5 or 3 or 2 or whatever's the earliest you can be, you only have the limited understanding and memory of what a kid could understand then. You don't see it from an adult's point of view, so you can only, conjecture and hypothesize what really was going on. And so she kind of has that type of memory about where she was in her past. And then the subsequent years of her just traveling the ocean and just those limited memorable moments. And of course, she's going to remember a little bit more the older she gets. And so it all kind of comes to her, just the feeling of what it was like to be with her parents and the sense of the wandering with some specifics. But it's just vague enough that she doesn't have a clear roadmap. She just has a destination. She has this one phrase. She has the jewel of Morro Bay, California. And so that's just enough to go on. It's just enough of an address that it can give Marlin and Nemo enough to say, all right, let's go to that location and see if it triggers more.
Where did you go?
You were the one to go.
My parents. I remembered them.
What? What did you remember?
I remembered them. My mom, my dad. I have a family. They don't know where I am.
It felt like, even though our sessions ended in 2003, when we started recording in 2012, it was like we just picked up where we left off. And it's just, when you've worked almost 2 to 3 years with somebody, that's one of the really nice perks, both for the crew and the cast, is it's a bit of a reunion, and you already know how you work together, and that's very enjoyable. Like, there's no learning curve, and it just becomes, all right, how can we just keep making this fun and exciting for ourselves to go further? And it tends to be, if the material's good and the story is that engaging, then it kind of answers itself.
I know where my parents are. They're in, what's it called? The place, Soap and Lotion?
Open Ocean.
Open Ocean!
Open Ocean? I know where that is. That's the exhibit located right next to... I don't care.
Hank, again, is very solitary, very uncooperative, but he's actually got a heart of gold deep down, and I think he's frustrated that he has it. And Dory, I think, senses it right away. And I think what makes it special is that she kind of brings him out of his shell by the end of the movie, and is able to uncover that he actually does want to be with loved ones, and as opposed to being alone. And I think that's a pretty universal thing with a lot of people that claim to want to just be left alone.
What's that?
That there is bad news. It's a transport tag for fish who can't cut it inside the Institute. They get transferred to permanent digs, an aquarium.
When we were thinking of who should voice this gruff, curmudgeonly octopus, the first name that came up was Ed O'Neill. And I think it's not only because Modern Family was on TV and still is, and one of our favorite shows to watch, but most of us had also grown up with Married with Children and had enjoyed Ed in that other flavor of being a frustrated father and sort of a patriarch. And so we didn't think of anybody else. So we went straight to Ed, and he took it. And he's so seasoned. I mean, his resume goes very far back, and he's quite the actor, both dramatically and comedically. And it was just a breeze. It was a breeze to work with him.